Well, the scriptures say that there will be wars and rumors of wars, and they were right. It's like all around us we can see this mess that the world's in. And it's easy to understand why the scriptures say that Jesus wept over Jerusalem, because the people didn't know the things that make for peace. You know, we're not here to give you all the answers because, well, we don't have all the answers. And I think most of us are a little suspicious of anybody that says they do. But what I think most of us are ready for, more than just somebody force-feeding us all the answers, is a safe place to ask hard questions about what's going on in the world. And these are questions that really hit home in neighborhoods like this. We're here in a neighborhood not far from our house called the Village of the Arts and Humanities. And here, there's a memorial that's dedicated to the kids in the school that died in Vietnam. There were more kids that died from this school than any other school in the country, and it's not a coincidence that it was in a hard neighborhood in North Philadelphia. Dr. Martin Luther King said that every time a bomb goes off overseas, we can feel the second impact ripple through our neighborhoods as we see houses that are abandoned, schools that are deteriorating, and we see kids that are taught this myth that violence can bring about change. It's the very thing that we're trying to unlearn. All the time now we're getting letters from soldiers over in Iraq or kids that have just gotten back that just served in the military. One of those kids gave me his shirt and he said, "I want you to have this to continue to pray for me as I figure out who I am." One of those soldiers said that they're dying for the American dream, and he said, "I'm not sure that we can afford that dream." And I think maybe Jesus had another dream in mind. One kid took off his dog tags and he handed those to me, and I carry them everywhere I go. And he said, I don't know who I am anymore. I feel this collision, and we're dying for abstract nouns like freedom and democracy. But it's not the gospel of Jesus. One of the kids that came up to the altar to pray with me was a kid that said he was on the ship that fired the Tomahawk missiles into Baghdad, and he was living with that. So we prayed together, we wrestled with these things, and I'm so excited because there is hope. There are people everywhere that are believing despite the evidence that we see and watching the evidence change. There are folks who believe so much that another world is possible that they are beginning to enact it now. Father Dan Berrigan, Catholic peace activist and priest, said once that it's not that we've tried the cross and it's failed, but we haven't tried the cross with the same courage and willingness to die for it and to risk for it that we've tried the sword. So you're going to meet some of our friends that have spent their lives working for peace. Folks like Jonathan and Leah, who I was in Iraq with, Amber and Farah, who live here in Philly and Camden, and my buddy Logan, who just came out of the military and now is a crazy lover of Jesus and activist for peace. I don't know if we're conservative or liberal. People call us both. I don't know what we are, but I know that we're after truth and we're after the heart of Jesus. When we talk about good and evil or bombs or grace, it's impossible to talk about the spiritual without the political. And most of us have done our work for peace out of a deep spiritual and political allegiance. It's a vision of a different kind of king and a different kind of kingdom from the world that we see around us. And I'll never forget when I was over in Iraq, in the middle of the bombing, one of the managers of the hospital came out as we were going room to room, seeing all the folks that were suffering so deeply. He said, "This violence is for people who have lost their imagination." Have we lost our imagination, he said. And I hope that we haven't lost our imagination.